like to introduce our other hospice people who are here today, and I wonder, first of all, Ron's a nurse, and Ron's a social worker.
Hi.
How about the names?
Nick. I am Nick.
Hi, I'm Kayla.
And then the director of volunteers from Northern Illinois Hospice.
I'm Sheila.
And then we have a wonderful veteran volunteer. And would you introduce yourself and tell us what branch of the service you were in?
My name is John Chafflin, and I was in the Air Force.
Oh, very good. Very good. My father-in-law was in the Army Air Corps in 1945, if you can imagine. And when he re-enlisted in 1948, it was the Army Air Force. And in that 3-year period, they went from being a unit of the United States Army to being its own division of the armed forces. So this is the day when we honor Ron and his services in the Air Force. We're going to begin by singing America the Beautiful. Everybody's welcome to join us. Oh, beautiful, forsake the skies forever, waves of rain. Oh, purple mountain majesty, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. We have a beautiful piece called Beatitudes for American servicemen and women. I'm wondering, Sheila, do you have that? Could you read that?
Oh, hold on a second, Jack. Oh,
Okay.
no guard there.
Okay.
I can read that. Blessed are you who pledge allegiance to the flag, for you remind us to honor our country. Blessed are you who listen to the call of your heart to serve, for your choices hang enduring. Blessed are you who persevere through training and discipline, for your hard work shape the mission. Blessed are you who bear devised and the loneliness of separations, so that we can live serenely with love. Blessed are you who labor for the greater good, for your sacrifice is a lesson in service. Blessed are you who surrender all. Hear me.
At this time, we want to award Ron with a pin.
Ron, it's my privilege to honor you for the service that you provided to the people of America. And this is a nice little pin that they have. And we're trying to do this without hurting you. It's a real American flag that is provided by Northern Illinois Hospice. I've been just affiliated with those folks for just a little while, but I've been with hospice organizations as a veteran volunteer for 5 or 6 years. So this is really my pleasure to do this for you. Ron, thank you so much for your service to our country, and we really appreciate it. I salute you.
I love
All you want me to do, I'll be glad to do anything else.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. The Air Force song, I would probably spare you my singing, but maybe we could all say this together. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give her the gun, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame or go down in flames. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. I love the veterans poem, and I'm wondering if somebody can read the veterans poem.
We'll read it. There's a copy. Is that a copy?
Okay.
Is it on there? Or, oh, do you have the veterans poem?
I do. I'll go ahead and read it.
Oh, okay.
It is the soldier, airman, sailor, Coast Guardsman, and Marine, not the reporter, who has given us freedom of the press. It is the soldier, the airman, the sailor, the Coast Guardsman, and Marine, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It is the soldier, airman, sailor, Coast Guardsman, and Marine, not the campus organizer, who has given us the freedom to demonstrate. It is the soldier, airman, sailor, and Coast Guardsman and Marine, not the lawyer, who has given us the right to a fair trial. And it's the soldier, airman, sailor, Coast Guardsman and Marine, who salute the flag, who serve the flag, whose coffin is draped in the flag, who allow the protester to burn the flag. So I'd like to ask Ron some questions here. Ron, how long did you serve in the Air Force? How long did you serve in the Air Force?
4 years.
I'm sorry?
4 years.
4 years, okay, very good. And you were posted in Vietnam, at least part of that time. I think you said for 2 tours.
One.
22.
And you told me that what kind of work did you do? You were in the support unit?
Personnel.
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 Okay. Very good. And what was the experience like for your family while you were away?
It was hard. It was hard. It was very hard, but we were supportive and we wrote every day. Ron and I wrote to each other every day, and we had our one baby to begin with, and I wrote down every day what she did, the words she said, and we had tapes that we sent back and forth at that time, and it was, we got along really well. Didn't we? We got along really well. We loved each other very much at that time, and it was very hard. And the day that, remember when you came home that day, and Heidi and I were waiting for you at the airport, and we were the only ones there, but there was a mother there who had just put her son on the plane to Vietnam, and she saw us, and she said, "It's so beautiful to see." She waited for him to come, so I told her what we were doing, and she waited for us to get together, and it was lovely. And I do remember Ron was in Cam Ranh Bay, and you told me that the South China Sea was the most beautiful water that you ever seen. And maybe someday you'd go back and take another look, but probably not. Probably wouldn't.
Hard times, but a time of special closeness. That's very beautiful. Very beautiful. A time of constant communication through letters and no cell phones.
No, that was early 70s, 1970s, so no cell phones, but it didn't really matter because we had letters. And every day there was letters written back and forth between us.
What else could you share with us?
Well, we were stationed in, first Ron was in basic training in San Antonio, and then we went to Biloxi, Mississippi, and Ron had tech school, and we had this little apartment that was filled with more than just us, but hundreds of roaches. It was pretty bad. And every morning, whenever you get up, you had to be there about 5 in the morning, I think you had to get up, and it was dark. And you turn the light on, you had your combat boots, your outfit on, your uniform, and then you take your big combat boot. And I turn the light on, and you'd start slapping those things against the ceiling. And you'd kill as many as you could, and most of them ran into the cupboards, the cabinets, where we were. But that was our morning ritual. And we had a sofa, it was provided, it was plastic, I'm sure, and there were a couple of hard chairs, and you actually laid on that sofa with those roaches that lived in there too. And I could never believe it. Like, we were doing it for 3 months. We were there, and I sat there on hard chairs the whole time, and you were with those roaches laying on that sofa. You didn't care. You didn't care. And then we go down to the golf, the 3 blocks from the golf. And remember you played football with all those guys? I was the only wife that was there, but you played football with all those guys on the beach of the Gulf, right there in Biloxi, Mississippi. And that was really fun. And then we went to Oklahoma City, and that was beautiful in the fact that red clay wasn't so hot. But remember Gene and Dave Stapleton? And they took us to that. Gene was a Native American Indian, it's Dave's wife, and they took us to a dance. I remember we rode down that long black road. It was pitch black when we went out to the reservation. It was that long road, but we could see in the distance this huge bonfire that was coming up, and sparks were flying, and we could see it in the distance. And then when we got closer, we could hear chanting and the bells on these beautiful costumes that everybody was wearing, these beautiful clothes and feathers, and it was amazing. It was like we were in a different world. Remember that? And we loved it. And it was so amazing and very interesting to be there. The sounds and the sights, and that was another thing I remember that we really enjoyed. And then we went to Denver after I went to Vietnam, and then we went to Denver. You got to pick where you wanted to go, and you were at the Air Force Personnel Center downtown in Denver, and you drove down there every day on that highway that took you there. It was a big honor to be